here at the Avery. This is where I started interning about 9 years ago. So just up there, I would get off the train station. Train station just there in the background. Sit in a cafe, take notes for the day on all the patching, and then get ready for the day. So I'd usually come in about half an hour early so I could have a coffee, take my notes down, then get upstairs. Over there is Dutch Vinyl. It's a record store. There used to be a milk bar when I was here. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna call Spike and see where Spike's at, and he'll come down and grab us. Hey Spike, I'm just out front. Alright, see you, bye. Alright, ready for a day's work?
Yeah.
Nice to see you, bro.
Coming in, bro.
Definitely.
That's all I got.
Watch me pop shit, watch me pop shit. Pop flex, I walk stiff on my RoboCop shit. Ayy, what's the difference? They just talk slick. Let them talk slick. Posted on my hawk shit, unlock like a lock. Watch.
Definitely.
So I was in my apartment and I was having a baby, and my wife's like, I'll just go to the park every day when you have clients. And I'm like, that's not gonna work. And so
No.
not with the amount of clients that I plan on having. I was terrified of the idea of paying rent twice and, you know, having extra bills on an income that I wasn't earning yet from music. And so, yeah, Jack just gave me a kick up the butt, and it was the best thing I ever did.
Oh.
And so here I am. And so, yeah, I kind of like started with a basic setup, but I've, you know, everything in the studio I've been collecting over 10 years now.
Yeah.
So just, you get to that point where you're like, I'm not going to buy any more gear. And then you buy one more piece, and it turns into a spaceship.
Yeah, actually, out of curiosity, have you got that piece that's going to get you in trouble with your wife?
Most of these pieces.
Have? No, the one, the most recent one.
Most recent one?
The tape.
She doesn't know yet.
She doesn't know yet.
But she knows that I've got a tape machine, but I haven't picked it up yet.
What model is it?
It's the Nagra 4S.
Alright, I'll put a photo of it up.
Nagra 4S.
Yeah, I think the tape machine we had here at the Avery was the one which Tristan would record through for the Hope Street stuff.
Sure.
I think it was an 8-channel at the time, or a 16, and then he just like expanded. It was in the main control room.
Yeah, he's still got it there.
We'll have
a walk through.
We'll have a walk through.
Should we have a walk through now? How long's it been since you've been?
Well, I've been in this entry room for your squad Sundays.
Oh yes, that's true.
Then outside of that, I think I did a session here in 2014.
Sure, that's a little while back.
That's a little while back.
So this is Fight Night Records. This is my two of my really close mates, Harley and Delaney, went to VCA when we were little kids, many fucking years ago. And then I went overseas for 10 years, and we lost touch. But then I came back. Then we got back to where we left off.
This is sick. This used to be, I think I told you, when we were first interning here, this space was like shared office desks.
Yeah, there was nothing
like,
in here. And I remember just like walking through, and there was like, everything was being built.
First opened up, you come in here, let me get my hand in the screen, you come in over there, and then there was an IKEA shelf here, and I think another one here separating a couple of open office desks.
Yeah.
Because I remember right in that corner where you're standing is where Fraser interviewed me.
Right.
Sitting on the couch there. I got a weird memory like that about things.
Intense.
But yeah, no, it's such a cool space now. Like,
yeah, the boys have done really well with it.
yeah. Is this what Fight Night did on the walls or the cladding, or was this done before they moved in?
In my room and this room here, the guys redid the roof, the floor, the sides as well. They all did that themselves. Their dad's a builder, so they're pretty savvy with that shit as well.
Yeah.
But they built it all themselves, and they got their mates in, and yeah, they did a killer job. Looks fantastic.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Looks awesome.
And this is Frazee, baby.
Yeah.
There's a big ass tape machine, which ironically, I'm good mates with Fraser. I've never asked him to use it. I don't know why, but just...
I don't think that tape machine was here when we were here. I remember that rack unit on the right was actually empty
Yeah.
when I was interning here, and it was in the back room because we had another rack unit, like another set of rack there. But yeah. Oh wow, that's awesome.
There's a lot of rack now.
There's a lot of gear. He's got 500 series stuff. It's beautiful. That's the kitchenette there.
Yeah, it's still the same.
Still the same, except they didn't used to be glass between the two. Used to be all open. None of this was built there. It's really come a long way. It's such a cool space.
It's great. Fraser's done amazing.
Yeah. Man, awesome space. As I said, huge blast from the past. Ugh. What gear came here with you?
I have a picture, I think, of the studio. I'll show you. There we go. There's the beginning. So you can see it's it was like really nice and clean.
Yeah. I think there's just a lot more stuff in here. You've got another...
Oh yeah, there's fuckloads more stuff.
3 more synths that I can see.
I had 2. The OP one I dropped on the ground, so that's in for repairs, but I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I had 5.
Okay, wow.
And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not here. 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that's all the synths. Yeah, I think there's 8 synths in the studio.
And which one's your Desert Island synth?
Ooh, that's a hard question. It's hard. I love everything. Desert Island, it's really too different. Juno 106, I'm very attached to. And then the Prophet 6, I'm very attached to. And this guy, the Korg Prologue, I fucking love.
No Desert Island.
Oh, I would take them all. You know what? The OP1 would be a great Desert Island synth because it's small, easy to play around with, lots of different little sounds, has everything on it. You can have your drums and all bits and pieces. I just think it's a useful synth because, all these synths, they can't do everything. But on the OP1, you can record and make tracks, and it's like a little studio in itself. Most people just... I don't think people realize how much work is involved. And it's cliched, but it's not hard work if you fucking love it.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine doing anything else every day. I want to create music. I want to build a legacy, and I want to spend time with my family. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. It's an interesting sort of... I think it's sort of an interesting transition the industry's in, because there's no right or wrong way of doing things, which leaves it to like an open playbook of cowboys and Indians. Mm-hmm. Like 30, 40 years ago, you have to go into the studio. This is who you work through. This is how everything's paid. It's structured. It might not have been it might not be the best by today's standard, but there was that structure that allowed people to move through. Earn your stripes, but even just like, this is how I go about getting from A to B. Mm-hmm. Now it's sort of like, you can pop up out of an assistant position from your bedroom on YouTube. Just being a feature artist on a particular record can blow up your production career. So like, there's like at least 50 plus avenues which can sort of offshoot into a sustainable career. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, for people starting out, it's like, where do I start?
It's overwhelming.
It's really, it's not that it's like the amount of choice that they have, or not even the choice, the amount of opportunity they have is crippling.
It is crippling.
To like, where do you start? And I get the confusion, I get the frustration, because it's like, how do I even get my first client now?
But you start with... I totally agree, and I think now, like, if I had to explain to Spike 10 years ago, like, if I was looking at Spike now from Spike 10 years ago, I'd be like, that's overwhelming with all the different things that I'm doing. But, the advice to Spike 10 years ago would be, start with one thing. Upskill yourself and do it well. Find a way to make money from that one thing first. And once that starts kind of like the cogwheels are in motion, move on to the next one. And I think there are so many different avenues and it can be crippling. But I think if you just start with what you love and what you're passionate about, for me, I just loved making beats and writing songs. So that was the first thing I started with. And I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even have a big studio. I did my first advertising on Gumtree, which probably doesn't happen much anymore, but I think I was paying $5-10 a month to just get it at the top post. And people were searching on Gumtree at that stage. I started like slowly generating clients. I think I charged like a few hundred, $200-300 for my first song. Just because I was like, and you know, over 6 to 12 months in my jeans drawer, under my jeans, I started getting like a wad of cash, which was fucking exciting because I go out and buy gear. You know, I started buying, I was like, this is amazing. I'm starting to make money from music. And I think that gave me a little bit of confidence.
Yeah.
When I started, and I made a lot of mistakes along the way. You know, one big mistake I made was had a client come in and I was like, he left and we worked on it and I was like, you know, I'll work on this track and when he comes back, he's going to be amazed. And I worked on it for 4 or 5 hours and then I sent him the track and he's like, yeah, nah, it's just totally not where I wanted to take it. And I learned really quickly from that, you know, especially when it's in songwriting, working when the client's not there, as much as I thought it was amazing, is completely subjective.
Yeah.
Because what I think is amazing, the client was hearing something completely different. So I learned very quickly that it wasn't about doing what I think is amazing. It's, you know, collaborating with the client, understanding what their wants and needs are and how they hear music, and then infusing what I think is amazing with that. And that's when I started getting good results. But, you know, I think there's going to be lots of fuck-ups along the road and it can be crippling, but starting with like that one thing, and then once that starts moving, you just keep adding, no? You keep finding other revenues and avenues to go down. You know, if no one knows about you, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
So whatever platform, whether it's Gumtree or Craigslist or Facebook or IG or TikTok or anything, Snapchat, whatever, whatever platform works for you, use it and try and get people to notice you.
I think there's also something to say about like the level, not necessarily the platform, the level of where you start isn't necessarily going to be at the highest tier. It's going to be, And no, that's...
But even now, like, it's really hard to attract attention. You have to be, with your socials, you have to be persistent.
Yeah.
It's, you can't just make a post and, you know, you can't do one post a week. You have to be consistent if you want to gain followers and get fans and people actually giving a shit about what you're doing.
Yeah. And I think that consistency starts to build up a story for people who will see it regularly.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's important because a lot of people, I think, fail on social media because they're trying too hard. So it's like they're really trying to sell something or do a sale or a service, whereas on social media, if you weave together a narrative people can follow along with, they know that, oh, it's another beat Spike's made, or oh, this is another video he's put together. Like when you're doing those beat videos where you'd, you know, put like, I'll put this up on the screen, but there'd be like 5 Spikes in this room all playing a beat. And you do that regularly, it'd give a narrative to people watching along. Hey, this is Spike. The first video might have been a bit, okay. The second, oh, I understand. Oh, third, you get to build
Creates a narrative.
Creates a narrative, which I think is really important, and I think is lost. There's a bit of an art form to it in social media, which a lot of people miss.
I think that's accurate, and it depends how you consume content and what you're attracted to. Some people prefer humor. Some people prefer things that are emotionally driven, you know. For me, it's like I like a healthy dose. I love humor, so anything that makes me laugh, I'm attracted to. Yep. So I follow accounts that do that. I obviously love gear, so I follow lots of stuff with gear. But I think changing it up and just seeing what works for you. At the end of the day, like, people just want to see who you are and being honest. And I think if you just shine who you are, the right people will come along. Can't be friends with everyone.
No. Not everybody's going to love everything you do. It's going to resonate differently with different people.
You just got to get to that point where you don't care. Where you're like, I don't give a shit. That's the most freeing thing. I think that's the most freeing thing about turning 30. You know, I feel like most people that get in their 30s, they kind of let go, and most people are more comfortable with who they are as a human. So my point is, you know, when you get to that stage where you're like, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about me anymore, even when you're displaying yourself on social media, you're just able to let go of any insecurities, and you know, people are going to judge you no matter what you do, so let them judge.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Fair enough. That's awesome. That's no, I'm really happy I got that Gumtree story, because it sort of captures your mentality of hustling at that level.
That's all I got.
Watch me pop shit, watch me pop shit. Pop flex, I walk stiff on my RoboCop shit. Ayy, what's the difference? Stage of
We're done for the day.
We're done for the day, mate. I'm going to get back to music, and you're going to get back to mastering.
Beautiful. All right. Thanks for having us and showing us the space, and we'll speak soon.
Thank you, my friend.
See ya.
See ya.